We are going to continue with binomial expansion, but this time around you realize that binomial actually just means two terms, but here we have three terms. So they actually want you to expand this using what you had previously. So in this question, this is actually related to the video before this. So remember, we actually had this expansion and we have 1 minus p to the power 5. So this is actually a continuation in the sense that they want you to use the result of this to expand this. Alright, so what we will have to look at is we have this one with the power 5, and the original question also is this to the power 5. So in other words, the exponent is the same, which is power 5. So we can equate whatever is within the bracket to each other. Alright, so we have 1 minus p must be the same as 1 minus x plus x squared. Alright, so now we are trying to make p the subject here. Okay, so 1 and 1 will sort of cancel off each other, so we have minus p equals to minus x plus x squared. So this is actually a negative p. So we want to make p the subject because we want to use that to substitute. Alright, so I multiply everything by negative, so I have p equals to x minus x squared. This is going to be my substitution. Now what this means is that earlier on I had this. Right, 1 minus 5p plus 10p squared minus 10p cubed. So instead of having the value of p, I am going to replace it with x minus x squared. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. So I will have it as 1 minus x plus x squared to the power 5 can be, okay, so let's have a look. The first time was just 1, so we just have a 1 here, minus 5p, right? This was 5p, but instead of a p, we are going to replace it with x minus x squared. Now the second term was plus 10p squared. So now I'm going to write plus 10 and p is supposed to be this, and then I have a square again outside there. Alright, then the next one is minus 10p cubed. So I have minus 10 p cubed. Now, please be mindful of the question. They want you to have only the term up to x cubed. Alright, so what we're going to do is that we're going to do all sorts of expansion until we get an x cubed term. So for this one here, all we have to do is we have 1 minus 5x and we get 5x squared. Okay, so we multiply these two. Now this one, before we can multiply, you have to be mindful that this is a square here, right? So we are going to use our quadratic expansion rules. So in this case here we have x squared minus 2 times x squared. Remember, this is a minus b, so this will be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Then finally for the last one we have minus 10. Now this first term, if this is power 3, I will have x cubed. I'm not going to bother with the other terms because I am only interested in up to x cubed. Alright, so I won't bother about the rest. So let's have an expansion for this other term as well. So I'm just going to copy from the earlier one, 1 minus 5x plus 5x squared plus 10x squared. 10 times negative 2 will give me negative 20. X times x squared will give me x cubed. And I'm going to forget about this because this will give me power of 4, right? So I don't have to bother about it. Then the next term that I have here will be minus 10x cubed. Alright, so these are all the terms up to x cubed. And the only thing left to do is just to simplify it. So I have 1 which is by itself and x which is by itself. X squared, I actually have these two terms, so I'll be able to have it as 15x squared. And then after that, I will have minus 20 and minus 10. So in this case here, I'll be able to put them together and I have negative 30x cubed plus dot dot dot. So this is what I have. So this is actually using the p to help me with an expansion that has 3 terms rather than 2 terms.